Hey there, YouTubian. CJ Holmes here. How you all doing? It's been a while since I posted anything, since I finished my Titanic Wreck model diorama. On to bigger and better things, literally. Anyway, got a little teaser for you that's in this box right here. We'll open that in a second. Just a brief tour of my Chamber of Horrors. There's the there's the wreck. I haven't sold it yet. It'll be going on sale in the near future. Anyway, here's some of my Speedway stuff. I probably should turn a light on here. Here's my son's motorcycles. There's some more light. There's our current Speedway bike. And let there be even more light. So yeah, I haven't, not even going to go on the other side of the garage to show you some of my collection. But anyway, this is just going to be a teaser today because I'm not going to be starting on this real soon. But here we go here. See if I can do this with one hand. Now this model is 1/350th scale, and this is the 1/200th scale Titanic model as produced by Trumpeter from China. Let me go ahead and put this on pause. I'll get it out of the box here. Stand by. Yeah, so here's here's the Trumpeter Titanic model. There's the box. Now, one of the things about this kit is how tightly they have packed things in here. So I'm going to pause again because it'll be a bit of a struggle for me to open the box. I want to show you the hull compared to the 1/350th scale kit. Stand by one more time. Alrighty then, so here's the kit opened up. I don't know, can I put this kind of more wide angle? Here's paperwork for the model. My goal is not to build this model. There are so many people who have built great versions of this kit, and I don't have the time nor the inclination to build one myself. But there's the hull. Thing is, I don't know how long it is. I'm sure it says on the box somewhere. Length is 1,347 millimeters. 1,280 plus parts. There's the hull. Okay, so let me bring this up here and show you what it looks like. What it looks like next to 1/350th scale. See if I can hold this with one hand without breaking anything. Alrighty then. Yeah, so there you go. There is the hull compared to the 1/350th scale. Just dwarfs it, almost twice the size, which would make it almost 8 times the volume. All right, so teaser about this. As I told you, I'm not planning on building it. However, what I am planning on doing is making a wreck diorama in this scale. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to preserve the hull. Actually, I'm going to preserve the entire kit. It's just too expensive and really generally too valuable a model. I just don't have the heart to kit bash it and start making a wreck out of it. But what I am going to do, and this is the start, here's some latex mold builder. I'm going to make a mold, and I'm going to start with the stern section. I have a friend online who is working the bow section. He's doing a fantastic job. You know who you are, Tim. So he's working that end. I'm going to start the stern section. My plan is to make a mold of the stern section to about here. And then from that mold, I'm going to make a resin copy. So the mold will be made out of latex rubber. I'm going to make a resin copy of it. And then, and really the mold is only going to be to about there, to about the part that's visible from, that's above the seabed. The rest is all buried. So anyway, it'll go from here down to about here, and we'll extend down to where it's about level with the bilge keel. Make the mold, make a resin copy, and then bend the resin copy outward as it is in the real wreck. And then start scratch building the wreck from there. So that's my plan for the Titanic. Look for future videos. It'll be a while. Don't expect anything probably for, I don't know. I can't tell you for a month or what. I don't know. I have other projects, and I'm going to be describing one of them right now. So that's the Titanic right there. So I'm going to put it on pause and put this aside and start talking about my latest toy, which is that there, and my plans for it. See you on the other side. Okie doke. So this is what I want to talk about tonight. I just picked this up yesterday. I have coveted one of these ever since I was a little boy. When I was young, my mom was struggling to raise 3 boys on her own after having been abandoned by her husband and our father. And so we didn't have a car. Our only means of transportation would have been generous relatives or the bus. And at the time, buses carried things like this. They're called a fare box. Those of you who know about them know about them. But anyway, the bottom line with the fare box is passengers would board the bus. They would deposit their coins, which may have been anywhere, depending on the time period, like from a nickel to 10 cents to 25 cents to 50 cents to whatever. I don't recall how much we were paying back in the late 1950s or early 1960s, but this is what we encountered when we stepped onto the bus. And the first time I ever saw one, I was in love. I was absolutely fascinated with the thing. It had moving parts. It looked complicated. It was mysterious, and it had a wheel that turned around and a knob that went up and down, and I was absolutely smitten by it. I've coveted one ever since that time for decades, but that relationship, just kind of went to the sidelines, my interest in other things having grown. However, well, let's walk over here real quick. Recently, my interest was piqued again when, I gotta find it, not even sure where it is, when I purchased, let me look over here. Here's the other side of my cabinet of curiosities. There's my telescope, there's my automaton Edward, there's Elizabeth the skeleton, and I'm looking for this. There we go. There it is right there. A few weeks ago, I found this Johnson Fairbox change maker. I remember these as a child. These were also part of the bus riding experience. The bus driver sat next to the fare box, and he also had a change maker. So let's say you gave him $1. Said, I'm going to need change for that. He had half dollars, quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies in here, and he would eject your change there. Once you had the proper change, you put the change in the fare box, and you were good to go on the bus. So when I came across this, it was one of those things where I have to have a fare box. So this great guy on eBay had this for sale, and shipping was like $200. Only because the thing, it's a boat anchor. It weighs a ton. I don't know if it's 70 pounds or 50 pounds. Anyway, however, he offered a free pickup. He was close enough that I was able to drive down and see him, and picked up the fare box. So there it is. A couple of issues. I'm looking at mechanical issues. For example, it's locked up. It doesn't move. Electrical issues. It was also motorized for 12 volts. And there's the cord. Unfortunately, the plug, it looks so temptingly like something that you would plug into the wall outlet. It had been plugged into the wall outlet, and the person's garage circuit popped. The thing started emitting smoke, and so he quickly pulled it out. And then I got a hold of it. So, mechanical issues, something's stuck. Electrical issues, the motor is likely fried, and cosmetic issues. I'm not really concerned about getting this in like new condition. However, it is grimy. It does show signs of neglect, and so, you know, I want to get it looking better than it is. Most importantly, I want it to work. The cool thing about these when they were in use was they could be run electrically, or they could be run manually. All right, so run. What's the deal here? You put the coin in. The bus driver or the trolley driver, the streetcar driver. When I was a kid in Los Angeles, we also had streetcars, although we never rode it. It was, the Red Line, I think. Electric cars. We stuck to the bus. The bus driver would see the coins. He would see that there was the proper amount placed, and then he would press this lever here. Little trap doors would open. They would fall into the counter mechanism, the thing that actually counted the coins. You can see this says coins here. Or if you had a token, you place a token in, it would also count the number of tokens. And this shows S token, which means small token. There are small 16 millimeters, smaller than a dime tokens that this would count. I've seen other fare boxes that had coins. It had S token register. It had L token, large token registers. They were, I think, a little bit bigger than a nickel. And some also had a pennies register. All right. The whole purpose of this was to prevent cheating and theft, employee theft, customer theft. You see that little ball on the chain there? That was known as the telltale. All right. So let's say you want to steal some coins out of this thing. You could go ahead and pull it out of its the slots, the support bracket that held it in place, and try to tip it upside down to steal coins out of it. Well, if you tipped it upside down, the ball would fall out of its holder and laying there. And so when it came time to basically do an audit, if they found out that it had been tipped upside down, someone was in trouble. Probably the driver, unless he reported, a theft of the device. The register would track how much money in pennies. So this device had stopped at 52,368 pennies or cents. And it had accounted for 2,357 tokens. So if the driver got into his bus, he would begin his shift by marking the beginning totals. At the end of his shift, he would mark the ending totals. The device was opened up, the coins were counted, and they needed to match what was on the register. If there were fewer coins that came out of the box than was shown in the register, the driver was in trouble. Now, so I know about that. I don't know much else. I'm thinking that this tray is where like bent coins or slugs or something would be tossed out. Otherwise, the coins were kept within the box. Having received it in this condition, I am absolutely in love with it, but I need to repair it. I got to get it working. I've looked up as much information as I can find online. There's really not a lot of info for this very popular collectible. A lot of people just collect it just to display, but I want to get it working again. So the next series of videos that I'm going to engage in are going to be my efforts to repair this dude and get it to start moving numbers and spitting out coins and tokens and all that. So let me set up my camera and we'll start the teardown and leave it at that. See you on the other side. Cool. I think that's a pretty good angle to start showing things here. All right. I have learned how to get the counter mechanism out. So let me start working on that. The first thing I need to do is to drive out. There's this shaft. There's a long shaft. There's the head of it. Goes all the way across here that holds the mechanism in place. So I'm going to drive it out. Use a drift. And you can see that? Yeah, cool. Cool. All This is the little retaining pin. I'll set that aside. And let's pull that out. Awesome. All right, there's the shaft. It's going to need to be cleaned up. We'll set that aside. Now, what else do I want to take out? Let's go ahead and unscrew this cover. So for you Titanic fans, I hope you don't leave the video. Maybe this holds some interest for you, but if not, I understand. I'll be doing separate videos on the Titanic build and on this restoration. I also have a very, very nice camera, an Aeroflex 16 ST coming in, that looks like it came from the bottom of the ocean alongside the Titanic. It's a rust bucket. It's full of mud. It literally looks like it was submerged in water in some type of flood and then thrown into the heart of an F5 tornado. Really a mess. I'm going to see if I can get that restored. All right, cool. So anyway, let me get back to this. This is what I'm working on now. So there's the cover. Looks like they'd even matched the cover with the box number. I neglected to show you the nameplate, and it's serial number 38868, Johnson Farebox Company, New York, Chicago. It has patent dates. The earliest patent on this is 1909, and the last patent number is 1914. What does that mean? Well, the patents were granted on those dates, but this basic design under those patents was produced, I think, well into the 1960s. I may be wrong. If there are any Johnson Farebox experts, please correct me on anything in your comments. Give me suggestions. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to try to be very careful with this thing. It's sturdy, but it's delicate at the same time. All right, so here we have a couple of pulleys. This comes from the motor. It's locked up. I'll attend to that later. This is like a 4-story building. You've got the top story. I don't know what you call this portion, the clear glass portion. All right, below that is the counter mechanism, and then below that is the hopper that holds the coins, and then below that is the motor assembly, one at a time. All right, so as I said, it could be run electrically off of 12 volts. I don't know what this, it's like a square shaft. I don't know what it does. We'll get to that some other time. If it was run electrically, there would have been a belt that ran, and then this would turn and coins would be counted. But there was no broken belt in here. I've got to assume that somebody removed the belt in order to run the thing manually. Now even that's not working. So now that I've got that shaft out, all I have to do is pull out the counter mechanism. All right, cool. And I don't know if you can see inside there, but down in here is where the coins fall down into the hopper. I don't know how to get to them yet. We'll find out, I guess. I don't know if this does anything. This may be something. Maybe something. It may have just spontaneously created itself, but we'll find out. All right, so what have I got here? I've got the mechanism, And guess what? It has coins in it. I know that it has at least 35 cents because when I bought the box, we were sitting around talking, and one of the guys that was in the garage of the vendor wanted to see, you know, if it worked or something. I didn't know if it did. It didn't appear to be working. But anyway, he volunteered 35 cents and stuffed them in here. I don't know what the dates of his coins are. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull out. All right. So I got a bunch of coins. Now, I don't expect there to be any very old and rare coins in this thing because, you know, these boxes were emptied daily and perhaps every shift. All right, that's a modern coin. That's another modern one, and I bet that's another one of those. So there's the 35 cents. I'll set those aside. Tip you down a little bit. Let's go through the coinage that we've got here. This is probably a recent edition. What date is that? 2015. That doesn't count. This is another recent one. What have we got here? 1970. That's rather, you know, vintage. Might have been thrown in this. 1967. 1965. Wow. 1973. What's this nickel? That's a new nickel. 2015. Roosevelt dime, 1974. That's 1975. What else have I got here? Any wheat cents? No, I don't see any Wheaties. All right, cool. Let me pull the coins aside. Now, I didn't get all the coins. And I think, I'm kind of hoping that the problem may be due to stuck coins. Can you see those in there? Yeah, let's look at that. Yeah, they're stuck coins. So, let me see if I can get those coins out. Now, I think I can remove this. That bolt is being cooperative. Let me remove this bolt. That bolt's being cooperative. Yeah, that light's better right now. Okay. That. Oh, okay. So, 3 bolts and, ooh, bicentennial. I betcha somebody had put that coin in and it jammed things. But we'll see. I'm not sure that that is the problem. 1964. All right. So I've got this out. Now let me see if this will turn. Now, if not, I will leave it at that. And no, it still doesn't turn. So I have other problems. With this turning, then this should turn. And it's not. So let me look at it closer. It's certainly dirty. Okay, I don't see anything here. All right, let's go this way and see what we have. So I've got, lots of, I don't know what you call these, that go at 45 degrees to each other. But anyway, having said that, okay, so that's a clutch. I'm looking at this right here. That's a clutch. This should go like this. This should turn like this, and it's not. So, doesn't look like there's damage to these. I don't think there's damage. But, something is locked up, and I'm going to have to probe further with it, which is fine. That's totally cool. Trying to learn the lay of the land here on it. All right. Even more complicated than I thought. This is wonderful. So I've got to start unjamming something, finding out what's going on with this guy. So I will learn more about it and take it from there. It looks like let me set you aside. Oof. I want to figure out how to get the this off, but anyway, I'll learn as I go, and we'll take it from there. All right, cool. So there's progress on my Johnson Farebox Company Farebox. We'll do some more videos on it. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.